So today, the CAA announcing some big news as they're adding 3 new members in Hampton, Monmouth, and Stony Brook to the conference for next year. And we have Conference Commissioner Joe D'Antonio joining us now. Joe, exciting time for you guys here today to make this announcement. Take me back. When did this idea of expanding and adding 3 new programs really begin in your minds there in the conference?
Well, it's really been a process that we started approximately 15 months ago, and just trying to find what would be considered a more sustainable and competitive model for our institutions that comprise the CAA going forward. And that's really been the timeline.
And so you settle here on Monmouth, Hampton, and Stony Brook. Obviously, geographically, they all make sense for your CAA footprint. What stood out about these programs in particular?
Well, I think anytime you're adding member institutions to a conference, it's certainly a big decision, not only for the conference, but also for those institutions. And it's really a totality of the circumstances analysis that gets you to a final decision. But we were honed in really on 3 specific things. 1, the institutions needed to be a geographical fit. Number 2, they had to have a great academic background and reputation, which all 3 of these institutions do. And number 3 is they had to be committed to both their athletic programs as well as their student athletes. And in these 3 institutions, we found 3 institutions that really meet all 3 of those standards, as well as many others.
For lacrosse, and I'll mention that specifically for us here because it's how we cover your conference the most. Curiosity's sake, on the men's side, obviously, on top of adding these new members, you've got affiliate members in Fairfield and UMass who help comprise this men's conference. What does this addition, adding 3 new members, mean for some of your affiliate members like them?
Well, what we think it means is it makes our conference even stronger than it was before. And we could not be more excited. We'll be coming into what would be the 22-23 season now with a 9-team membership in men's lacrosse that just, in our mind, continues to get stronger every day. Great coaches, great student athletes, and an incredible commitment to the sport. So we couldn't be more excited with the addition of these 3 schools and with our current membership.
On the women's side, adding Stony Brook just puts in a powerhouse in terms of women's lacrosse. Obviously, that is a far down the road of types of things that make this decision an important one. But what does the addition of a program like the Stony Brook women's team mean for the women's conference?
Well, they've certainly had a lot of success, and we couldn't be any more excited now that they're joining an already very strong lineup of institutions that sponsor the sport. It's a tremendous sport. It's a growing sport, and we're really happy that we're adding Stony Brook into that mix for the CAA.
Obviously, you've already got a school out there on Long Island in Hofstra, and this creates quite the dynamic and rivalry. I wonder, what were those conversations like with Hofstra, knowing that they're adding their next-door rival to the mix?
Well, they were actually tremendous, and it may not be what you or the fans think, but those are 2 institutions that, when they get on the courts and on the fields, obviously want to come out ahead of the other one. But they also are 2 institutions that have a tremendous amount of respect for each other. Both their presidents and ADs have a great respect for each other and their institution. And Hofstra was actually incredibly supportive of the conference making this move. And it really sets up in the Long Island area some great rivalries, not only in lacrosse, but in other sports as well.
So obviously, this announcement comes on the heels of JMU's announcement that they are leaving the CAA. And with that has been the news that JMU student athletes have been unable to compete in CAA championships throughout this school year before they leave for next year. For women's lacrosse, it's obviously huge because they've been one of the powers in your conference and also nationally. Were there ever any second thoughts, especially for some of these programs that has put the CAA on the map, being able to compete in those postseason events?
Well, first and foremost, we have the utmost respect for JMU as an institution. And just in regards to this specific conversation, the utmost respect for their women's lacrosse program. They won a national championship as part of the CAA. So, couldn't give them more credit for what they've done as an institution and as a program. Obviously, as it relates to the decision that we made, It was a decision by the conference leadership to follow the conference bylaws as it relates to championship participation once you have, as an institution, have informed the conference that you are departing its membership to join another conference. So we certainly respect the decision JMU made. We wish them all the best going forward. They're obviously playing a regular season schedule with us this year, and we certainly wish them the best of luck in this campaign as well as future campaigns.
And just following up on that, they were supposed to host the tournament because the defending tournament champions. Have there been thoughts on where that tournament will be held this year?
Yeah, so obviously JMU will not be hosting the tournament, as you noted. We're in significant discussions right now with our membership and hope to have an announcement within the coming weeks as to where the 2022 CAA Women's Lacrosse Tournament will be held.
Well, Joe, an exciting time for you guys. We can't wait to welcome in the new institution. Should be a lot of fun to watch here on LSN to add into all the great games you guys have given us over the years. We appreciate the time, and good luck as we get ready for another spring season.
Well, we appreciate you having me on this afternoon, and certainly know that we appreciate the partnership and strong relationship between the CAA and LSN. It means an awful lot.
Awesome. Thanks, Joe.